Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 fabrics that you should be thinking about when it comes to your wardrobe this fall. What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo, StarArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And it's Winter Wednesdays, yo. I know that you've been showing up this week in style, but if you haven't, if you've been having some issues, if you've been having some challenges, that's exactly why I'm here, to ensure that you are dressing yourself with the best of yourself. Now today, on What to Wear on Wednesdays, I'm going to talk to you about 5 different fabrics that you should think about when it comes to your fall closet, your transitional closet, and why. But before I do, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And if you have been here before, but you haven't done so yet, go ahead, hit that notification bell. And that way you will be notified every time new content comes out. Definitely is appreciated. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first fabric that you should be thinking about is wool. Now, I'm sure that you already have some wool in your wardrobe, so you don't have to go out and buy anything or purchase or make any new purchases there. But wool can come in a few different types of things, and we're going to kind of use my ensemble that I have on now to discuss it. So this is a wool cap. It is a very light wool cap that I got from Borsellino via Flamekeepers Hat Club. I will put that link down in the bottom. Now, I'm not getting any affiliates or any kickbacks for any of these promotions. They're just brands that I mess with, and so I just wanted to pass them on to you. But this is a 8-panel hat that I got from Flamekeepers. Really love it. I've had this for about 7 years, so it does hold up well. I also have this wool cable knit sweater. Now these are 2 different types of wool. This is Angora wool, and this is just a standard 100% wool, virgin wool hat. So again, you can get wools in different textures and different types of wools that can work in different weights. And if you're more interested in that, please leave me some comments in the comment box, and I'll be happy to go over a full week of talks about wool, because there's a lot of different things that we could get into. So when it comes to wool, why do you want to wear wool? Wool is going to be durable, it's going to be lightweight, it's a natural fiber, so it's going to breathe well, it's going to wear well, and it's going to have a essence of elegance and sophistication when you are wearing it. And think, you can do wool ties, you can do wool sweaters, you can do wool trousers, you can do a wool suit, you can do a wool hat. So you have a lot of different options that you can take on when you are wearing wool, and that's another reason why you should consider it. So definitely think about trying wool on. I'm sure you have already. The next fabric that you should be thinking about is suede. Now, Peter, don't get mad at me, don't kill me, but suede is a great fabric to have for the fall. And the reason why you want to have suede is because suede is a little bit more luxe than leather is. Now, if you guys already have a leather jacket, there's nothing wrong with that. It's probably going to be better in any like seriously inclement weather, like if it's raining or drizzling or something like that. You don't necessarily want to have suede on unless you have some other covering, but then that kind of defeats the purpose. But suede is going to have a great feel or patina to it. It's going to have a great look to it, and it will also add a little bit of charm and softness, as my mentor used to say, when it comes to your outerwear. Now, suede is generally going to be outerwear, as I just mentioned, or it will be on shoes. Now, because both of these things are going to have to interface and deal with the elements, just bear that in mind. If you're in a particularly rainy or wet type of climate, then you may want to just be weary whenever you step out, and instead get a wool jacket and stick with the leather shoes. But if you're in a moderately nice climate where it's not there's not a whole lot of rain and you'll be able to get some wear out of it, suede, it's the way to go, I'm telling you. The next fabric that you should be thinking about is cords. Now, if you know me, then you know I love me some corduroy. Like, corduroy is just a great fabric for the fall, as well as the winter, depending on the weight and how heavy those wales are in the cords. And it also can transition into spring. I did have a few spring cords as well. Now, cords are generally going to be pants and or like jackets or suits. Now in these cases, you want to remember that corduroy is going to be an extremely casual fabric. So if you are in any space where you're going to have to be dressed up, then corduroy is not going to be the look that you want to have associated with you in those spaces. So for me, I have my corduroy trousers on. Love these. I've had these for quite a while, almost at this point 10 years, and so they've worn extremely well. I wear these blue corduroys like they're my jeans, and they just again work extremely well for me. Now remember, because cords are pants, are generally associated with pants or suits, you can get these in different types of cuts. I have several cords in a jean cut that I tend to wear for jeans instead of wearing denim, and so it's just a nice offshoot or play on your entire look. So before you throw on those jeans this fall, consider some cords. Now the last fabric that you should be checking out is velvets. Now I love velvet because of its texture, because of its patina and the way that it shines, and because it has this elevation or sophisticated undertone to it when you are throwing it on. Now generally, again speaking, if you have on velvet, you're probably going to be wearing one of two things. You're either going to be wearing a jacket or you're going to be wearing some shoes. Now for the purposes of this conversation, got to take them off, but I'm wearing my velvet Ralph Lauren slippers that I've had for a while. These have gone through some things, but with the velvet slippers, there is a touch of elegance. It did have a fashionable trend run probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and a lot of guys were going out and getting them, but they didn't really understand the nuance of velvet slippers. If you're interested in that, I'll be happy to go over that as well. So leave me some comments. And let me know if you're interested in that, in the history of velvet slippers. But when it comes to velvet jackets as well, they just tend to have this elegance to them, this elevation to them. I've seen some guys wear them with t-shirts. I've seen other guys wear them as dinner jackets. I've seen other guys wear them, as sports coats with jeans. And in each situation, it's always had a level of sophistication, of sexiness, of sensuality in those spaces. And that's what the velvet jacket can provide for you, or the velvet slippers in this space. Now, for the real last one that I was going to talk to you about is something that not everybody needs, but that is something that you should look into, and that's felt. The reason why felt is such a unique property is because felt is actually fibers that are matted together and pressed together to hold themselves together. Now, generally speaking, you're going to see felt in hats, but they do have felts in jackets for outerwear as well. And the reason why I like felt is because felt has a texture to it. Because there's all different types of properties that come together and create this fabric, there is different energy, there's different storylines that are going to be in that space, and a different texture that's going to elicit touch. Now I have several fur beaver hats. Again, PETA, don't kill me, I've had it for years. I didn't go out and buy any new ones, but I also just have some standard felt hats for the fall and the winter. So if you are looking at felt, you should generally think about the hats, because again, if you're looking at jackets, you probably could get just a wool jacket, although you could do a wool felt jacket if you want to be different. So those are the 5 different types of fabrics that you should check out. Again, let's just go through them quick. You have wool, you have suede, you have corduroy, you have velvet, and you have felt. And if you have all those things in your arsenal, then you're probably pretty good and ready for the fall, ready for those transitions. If you don't, as I made mention with the different options that I provided, you have a lot of different ways that you could go with the fabrics. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have them, and make sure that it's affordably priced so that you can go get exactly what you need. And once you have all those things in the arsenal, leave me some comments in the comment box and let me know how you're putting your look together. As you can see, it can all be worn together, or you can break it up to make sure that it's working for you. So that's it. I do appreciate you for taking the time to redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. We are here every Monday through Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And fellas, please don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind, so you should always dress to express. See you tomorrow. Peace.